Jesse Butler, familiar, came out to American Top Team, trained for about half a year. We were good buddies, hung out quite a bit.
Nice. This is an interesting fight. We're looking at having the winner of this fight potentially take on Colin Wright for the 145-pound title.
Colin Wright, a very, very tough out for any man. Yeah, let's see what happens. They're coming out with some nice kicks. Jesse told me that he was going to take advantage of Retic's style. Thought he standed too bladed. Thought he would be very susceptible to low kicks. You see Jesse trying to set those low kicks out there.
Retic is very long for this weight class.
He's got a good understanding of his range, too. I would like to see Jesse set those shots up a little better. I think the idea of the low kick is good, but you got to put something in his face first before you go to it. Controlling the range.
Going for those leg kicks as you spoke about.
Switch kick to the body. Retic's got to make sure he blocks that, Jesse.
You know, and the more these kicks come out from Butler, it's harder for Jesse to sit on his jab. I'm sorry, it's harder for Anthony to sit on his jab.
Agreed. And a weapon that Anthony's trying to certainly use is that long jab. We've kind of seen that dimensions have played a big part in what takes place tonight, and Mr. Retic with the dimensional advantages here. I know Jesse's very good on the ground. I'm wondering when he'll switch up the game plan and start trying to push for the grappling match. Nice long teeth from Retic. Really extended, good low kick.
Retic has got some range here. If he can settle in and kind of start to use the length of his body, he can be very dangerous.
Absolutely. Jesse doing a good job, kind of probing with the low kicks. I'd like to see him set it up with punches, though. If I'm in his corner, I'm telling him, let's establish our punches before we try and land that nice low kick. Look at the back of Retic. It's really quite impressive. I mean, this guy is 145 pounds with a long wingspan, big old wide back, and I guarantee he can turn over some power.
Nice and composed, taking his time, measuring his distance. I'd like to see him work his hands a little bit more here.
That low kick Jesse Butler was going after, that was a nice one that he was able to extend through. One that actually counted there.
One of the disadvantages of being the height of Mr. Anthony Retic is you can tell the difference in the size of their legs.
That is the truth. Easily.
The taller you get, the leaner it comes.
Well, I've long thought Jesse Butler was a really well put together featherweight fighter. Thought it was interesting that he could make the weight class and carries his weight really well. Athletic kid. I think he comes from a baseball background. Looks like a baseball player to me anyways.
Just that stance.
I'd like to see him throw that fastball right down the middle. Got a minute and a half in this round. Neither guy has really pulled ahead. Hard to say who's done the best work.
I think Butler's been the more active fighter. I don't think he hasn't done a whole lot more, but he's been more active, maybe been the more aggressive fighter in this fight so far.
It's interesting thinking about either of these guys matching up with Colin Wright. Colin Wright, a guy who I train with regularly as well, and it's hard to come into these fights and not have some type of bias, and I do my best not to, but Colin, a tough out for anybody, I promise you.
You know, Colin's one of those guys, it's really hard for me not to be extremely biased for Colin. I can remember Colin sitting on side of the mats at Militich Fighting System, reading a book. I think it was one of the Eddie Bravo books, and then he would get up, try it on the mat, and come back and read the book again. Like before he ever had an amateur fight, and he's changed so much in that time. And man, him and Butler would be a very, very interesting matchup. Not to overlook Retic right now. But it would be a very interesting matchup in a styles clash. Colin is hard-nosed, in your face, and he's coming at you.
And he closes the distance. both guys would have to utilize a far different game plan when facing Colin Wright. And not that either one of them aren't capable, they certainly are. And I think looking forward to either one of these guys stepping in there with Colin Wright. It'll be a fun fight.
Entertaining for sure.
There's that level change. We thought it would come a little earlier. Maybe in the next round we'll see it come out a little earlier.
Good job by Retic there to stop that. Him and Butler, he jammed his finger or something. They were talking a little bit after that. Coming out for the second round after a very close first round. What do you look for in a change here from Jesse Butler to maybe make the round stand out more in his favor?
You know, I'd like to see that level change earlier on. Establish your striking, land a nice shot, change level, score the takedown, establish position, work from there. Retic doing a good job though, keeping him at his range, working his distance well, taking advantage of his advantages. Nice pump and jab. I think if I could tell every fighter tonight any one thing, I would say all you guys need to be looking over your brows, keeping that chin tucked.
Seems like simple advice, but 90% of people forget it. Yeah, get out there, the chin stays up a little bit, and that's how you get caught, man.
And I tell you what, I've been guilty of it too. Don't get it twisted. But yeah, I need a coach telling me, yo, look over your brow, keep your chin tucked. I think that's something I picked up from Steve Bruno. I think that's something he said. Look over your brow. Really smart stuff. As a coach, I just straight up steal everything from everybody else, if I'm being honest.
Wait, but most other coaches, they got it from somebody else.
That's right. That's right.
Experience, man. You pick it up as you go.
I just copy and regurgitate.
I'd like to see a little bit more activity from Butler here. I'd like to see him kind of come out and try to establish a little bit more dominance this round.
I agree. You know, close the distance, get inside, work that short, choppy work. We're playing the long game with a guy with the advantages of length. Nice. Double jabs his way into a low kick. I think Butler was right in his breakdown of Retic and thinking that he could find that low kick. Just seems to me that he doesn't believe in it. You know, he's not really set. Nice swooping right hand, finds Retic, gets into the grappling exchange. Here we go. I've got to believe that Jesse Butler will have a pretty good advantage on the mat. Here's a kid who competes a lot in the jiu-jitsu circuit and is always learning, growing. He's showing a very good propensity for keeping a guy grounded, a lot of top pressure, keeping his hips in between his own hips. This is nice work.
Solid pressure here from Jesse Butler.
Keeping a good control of the body leg. Savvy stuff from Mr. Butler.
Nice elbow over the top there from Jesse.
Another one. Again,
Retic's with the old school sweep there.
That strange sweep that seems to only work for really tall, gangly, long guys.
Man, one of the guys I see pull that sweep off more than anybody is Delani Perry.
Delani Perry, dude. He'll sweep me on my face with that thing.
It's insane.
For sure. He's 6'1" and he's a 35er. Nice arm in guillotine attempt. This looks tight.
That's super tight guillotine there from Jesse Butler.
Jesse Butler, well done.
All right, before we get to our official decision, guys, don't forget October 27th, Horseshoe Casino, Shreveport, Louisiana. Derek Kranz versus Danny Salinas. Get your ticket to akafights.com. Once again, that's akafights.com. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. You can check me out at Show Enough Stuff on all those same things and the Truth About Stuff podcast. Let's take it back to Dynamite for the final decision.
Our referee has called a stoppage to the action at 3 minutes 2 seconds in round number 2, declaring your winner, bang, bang, Jesse